Knights of Apollo. I am so excited for today's video because we have a 3-part lore accurate battle series. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's covering the wars between the elves and Sauron. So it's gonna be awesome, and we are at the very start of it, which is the fall, or also known as the sacking of Eregion, which I believe is how you pronounce it. You're probably gonna hear me mispronounce some names in here, but that's just, that's just what I do. So if you are a casual Lord of the Rings fan, or maybe you really like Lord of the Rings, but you don't know much about the backstory, this event will clear up a lot of why everything was why the ring was made, why the elves were fighting Sauron, and it should clear up some stuff, but I'm just gonna give a quick overview. Be sure to look up more in detail about these events for sure, because I just want to get the battle started. So, like I said, this is the grand city of Eregion, which, again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but these are the elves of Eregion, which actually, well, they don't exist anymore. You're looking at a dead people because Sauron utterly crushes them. Now, I'm sure there were some survivors who escaped and went to the Linden elves, so they're not completely eradicated or something, but they were utterly destroyed. Now, they had a good relation with the dwarves. Of course, you guys know in the Fellowship of the Ring, they go to the door of Durin, which basically, if you remember the password, speak friend and enter, and it's the Elvish for friend, because the elves of Eregion were good friends. They had a good relationship with the dwarves in Moria. So, it just kind of, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's something I recently learned about this. So, let's talk about why we're here, why Sauron is here, and why the elves are under attack. Now, of course, Sauron, he tricked the elves, so he disguised himself and befriended Kelebrimbor. So he trained him and the elves how to forge and make these powerful rings. Now, he was tricking them because they were going to be rings of power. Basically, it's going to manipulate the ring bearers. Now, I'm sure if you watch the Fellowship, you learn about, the rings that were made for the dwarves, the rings made for the elves. So those are those rings. So they started forging those rings 15,000 Second Age. They finished the rings 1590 Second Age. So it took them 90 years, which would be pretty quick for an elf because they're immortal. But yeah, 90 years. And then of course the one ring we all know and love was forged 16,000 Second Age. So what happened was that Kelebrimbor realized these are evil rings. These should not be worn because he was deceived by Sauron, and he warned the elven ring bearers about the rings, and the rings were stored away, and they weren't being worn by the elves, and Sauron was very upset about this, and that is why Sauron is now here at the city, ready to lay down some law, ready to crush the elves. In this battle, we have a couple different heroes here. I'm just gonna list some of them, some that you probably know. Of course, we have Kelebrimbor. He is defending the city. Elrond from Linden. Now, of course, you guys know Elrond. He is here as well. He showed up with a small force to aid the elves of Eregion. And we also have Durin the Third, which is a dwarven, a dwarven ally. So what happens here, and again, history might change, the lore might change in this battle, but what happens here is that they get utterly crushed. Elrond tries to save as many people, and he helps them get to Linden. So he's trying to save as many elves as possible. Celebrimbor is captured and tortured. So Sauron knows where those rings of the 3 rings of power that the elves would wear, where did they go? And I'm not sure if he actually tells them or he just doesn't, you know, he goes through the torture and doesn't ever tell him, but he is eventually killed by orc arrows, so he's shot to death. Now, I don't know if this is for sure, but there's some say that his body was used as a banner when they attacked Lindon, when Sauron marched his forces to Lindon. So that is basically the story of, it's actually really sad. The siege of Eregion. Eregion? Not Aragon. Eregion. There we go. So I'm still learning some of this stuff, like, you know, I just learned some of this. So definitely look into it in more detail. I just wanted to go really quickly so you have an understanding of what's going on here. Again, if you're a lore master, you probably cringed at the way I described this event. But yeah, anyways, go ahead and I'll have some links to the wiki about this, the Lord of the Rings wiki. Also, there's a link to the Third Age mod if you guys want to play and do, you know, have some epic battles like this. And here's the map, by the way, just to give you an area of where this battle took place and where the great city of Eregion is. It's near Moria, and this is where the battle took place. And again, when the battle was over, the other thing is the doors of Durin shut. They kept it closed because they're like, oh geez, we are screwed. So it's kind of sad. I don't know. It's like an elvish people that had good relations with dwarves. They had a friendship, and then, you know, they are gone. They're gone, and the doors were shut. All right, so let's jump into the fall of Eregion, the Great Siege of Eregion. Now, if history does change here, this is a cool shot, but if history changes here, then we will move on to the next battle as if the elves lost this battle. So just a little heads up. So it's a 2 versus 6. The elves are greatly outnumbered, but they have skill on their side. They have very professional troops, and the settlement is fairly easy to defend. You can see it's very narrow. There's only a few choke points they have to attack, and it's like a long ramp, so the archers will have a good shot. And then the final stand leads to one little choke point. So the elves, though they are outnumbered, do have the advantage of the defense, and you know, they have very skilled units. It's just, do they have enough arrows to win the day? Now let's go ahead and really quick, because I think the Cav is about to engage the Orcs here. But I just wanted to show you what kind of Orcs we have. The Orcs in the Misty Mountains, led by Happy Meal. We have Inhonorous. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm sorry. We have Mordor. Then we have Mordor over here by Inhonorous. I probably slaughtered your name. I'm so sorry. So he's leading a force, and then we have the third army on this side by Demons, and he's also leading Mordor. Now on the other side, we've got Orcs in the Misty Mountains by Cannon Fodder. Good to see Cannon Fodder. We have Son of Imladris, who is leading Mordor, and then finally we have King Ammar, which is leading the last Mordor army. Now on the defensive side, now there were, okay, so I just want to clear this up. There were elves from Imladris, or Lindon, I believe, that were there. But because this game is set in the Third Age, there is no elves of Eregion. They were wiped out, or at least destroyed to the point where they're not really a people. They're, you know, they scattered amongst the other elves. So we have Sin of the Dark Cloud leading the realm of Imladris, and then we have Lango leading the other army. So those are the two players. So let's dive in here and see how this is playing out. We'll do normal speed. The elves have taken to the trees, and they are looking for an opportunity to get some good charges off. And there we go. There's the first initial charge, and look at the destruction these elves can do against the orcs. We've got the heavy cav here. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure that it's like Gwaith. I don't know. Isn't that like the forging group? Like the, anyways, the group of elves that forge stuff. Here we got some we have some lancers. Eldar Enway. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. You know, honestly, guys, it's been so long since I covered Third Age. I've kind of... I need to refresh my memory on how to pronounce certain stuff. Now, I'm sure you guys know I'm not a master of... I'm not some, like, expert lore master of Lord of the Rings. You guys know that, obviously. I'm just a fan that enjoys it and tries to learn about it when I can. And, of course, obviously for these videos. But it's just awesome to be back in the lore of this fantastic universe. And, oh, here comes another charge. And, that was a good charge. They're trying to take out the trolls, but this is they're probably going to take some casualties here for sure. But yeah, it's just really fun to go back and discover new stories or more details of certain stories. Here comes the elves on the other side. They've also got Cav running around and trying to get some cycle charges on these orcs. But yeah, as I was saying, I love the Lord of the Rings. It's just the way it's written. It feels like this actually happened. You know, like this was history in a long ago forgotten world that, you know, it happened on Earth. Or, you know what I mean? It's just crazy when I read the stories, when I read the lore, the detail, the heroes. It feels like it happened. And I think that's why I love Lord of the Rings so much as a big history fan. Is that obviously Lord of the Rings is inspired by history. It's inspired from the Bible. It's inspired by old, you know, Saxons, you know, like stories and just it really comes from many different inspirations for Lord of the Rings, like sources, I guess you could say. Anyways, that was a nasty charge while I was trying to stumble over my words. They just utterly destroyed these orcs. Look at the orc officer. Rawr! And yeah, they are getting some great charges off over on this side. Let's go back over to the other side of the battle. Oh no! I think that was Elrond. But of course, lore-wise, Elrond does not die in this battle, obviously. But when you kind of see what Elrond has been through in terms of dealing with Sauron, oh my god, what is this? They've got a troll catapult. The way it was firing up here just looked amazing. But oh, they are already, oh my god. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought these were burning troops, but it's just the drummer trolls. But the orcs are charging forward. They are ready to attack. This is the first infantry versus infantry engagement. Oh, God. Yeah, it's, Sauron has brought pain and destruction to the elves here. Oh, this is sick. This is a great shot. You got the elves. You have the beautiful structure of the city of Eregion. And then you have the orcs. Oh, my God. So this is going to be one hell of a choke point to hold against all these orcs. Let's go on the other side. Let's see if the orcs have pushed over on this side as well. Not yet. They actually, like I said, they seem to have been dealing with the Elvish Cav. They're having more issue with the Elvish Cav over on this side. There they go. The drummer trolls, they're like, drum! Scare them away with our drums! But yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. It's really refreshing to take a break from Third Age and come back. I really love these like story-driven battles. There goes another general. That's both general. That's both Elvish generals. So that's Kelebrimbor, which lore-wise, obviously he didn't die during the battle, but he was captured. I think he was like defending, I forgot exactly on the top of my mind, but he was defending a very important building. It might be one of the buildings that had a ring in it. Because I think they moved the rings around. I think some were in Linden. Maybe one was here and he was trying to defend it. I'm not sure. I'm speaking out of my butt right now. But he did fight and defend a very specific location. You might want to look it up. And he was captured. He was tortured. and eventually killed and used as a banner. That's some dark stuff right there. That is especially if you come at it and it looks like just side note here, it looks like the elves are fully committing their cav, and that might be the last of them. They do have one more unit over here of heavy cav trying to run. I mean, imagine being this cav and just being like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. I mean, you're doing a lot of damage, but it's got to be terrifying to be like facing the heart of the army and just getting crushed. But talk about how dark it would to use an elf, a dead elf, as a banner. Because elves are immortal, as in they don't die from age or disease, but they can die from getting killed, right? Again, I might be wrong here. I mean, I know they can die from swords, right? And like external force can kill them. So imagine an elf that's immortal. That means you don't die naturally. So when you see a dead elf, it's got to be horrific. It's got to be like, oh my god, like this is awful. You know, because you look at humans, you look at us, we die. We die all the time, and it's still horrific. All right, well, speaking of dying, my game just crashed there. So we're right where we left off. Anyways, to wrap up what I'm saying, it's really sad. It's really sad when elves die, I guess, from their perspective. So if we look, you can see that the orcs are streaming both sides. They're streaming up both sides of these ramps. So they're on their way up here. They've been fighting much longer over here. Oh yeah, look at that. These elves, man, they're trying, but there's so many of them. Look at the great eye is watching us. But the elves are doing the best they can, holding with their spears, arrows flying down. They also had to deal with the catapult of Mordor as well. So let's go over to the other side that the orcs are attacking. And you can see that they are also attacking this far bridge. They have a mangonel set up. They're opening fire, trying to go after the reserve forces of the elves. And you can see things are getting very scary, very fast for the great elves of Eregion. They're trying to hold back. They got some orcs in the Misty Mountains with some nice armor, trying to fight off these men and break through. And look at these statues. This is cool. Look at this. That's awesome. I always love that kind of aesthetic. This settlement is very cool. And then here's another set of elven spears trying to hold the line. What? That mangonel over here is going nuts. What is it even going after? Oh my god. It's going... Okay. It almost shot his own men, but it's going for these Eldar archers. And these archers... This is key to the elven defense. They've got to rack up a lot of kills with these archers. Oh, and they've got a ballista. Okay, this is promising. This is looking good. This is kind of what they need right now. They've got an elven ballista back here. Sin in the Dark Cloud, trying to pierce through, I assume, some... Well, it looks like he shot his own guys there, but he is trying to kill some orcs. Now we got some super deadly heavy infantry from the elves with their black armor charging in. Oh, but the elven archers are getting skirmished down a little bit. Honestly, at this point, it might be time. By the way, I love the assets from Battle for Middle-earth 2. The elven barracks, they look awesome. But yeah, it might be time for the elves to, I don't know, to call it quits and fall back. I just think there's too many of them, and maybe that's what he's doing. I mean, he is falling back. I mean, this center is going to be open to attack. Oh my god, more artillery coming down. Thankfully, the elves are in loose formation. It's kind of tough for that artillery to get some good hits for him. honestly, the orcs might just, they might want to just save it for later. But it looks like there's a little bit of a pathfinding issue here, and they can't get through the gates. Ooh. Like, no, Jim! Jimmy boy! It would be cool if, like, I mean, obviously this is an old game, but if they could have, like, an elf, like, try to, like, pat out the fire or, like, kind of sit next to him and grieve, like, as if it was his friend, you know? I mean, obviously that would be a lot to animate and a lot going on, but it would be cool to see stuff like that. But no, the spears have kind of fallen back, and they're kind of reforming a defensive position around this circular structure, this gazebo of death, I guess you could call it. They are going to try to form up and make a defensive line, which is smart. They're not completely falling back, but they are falling back a little bit to a better position. Alright, so we got more Elven archers really solid. They're so close to this edge, one little slip they could fall. We have ballistas over here opening fire. Or no, actually they're holding fire, my bad. Maybe they were opening fire, but the elves are, hey, they're doing decently well here. I mean, look at this. I mean, they've been fighting at this spot pretty much since the start of the battle, and they're doing decently well. So we'll see how long the elves can hold here. They definitely put a dent into the army of Mordor, but there is still a ton of reinforcements of reserves. And there's also still cav running around. Look at this. They still have some cav running around, doing some damage against the Uruk captains. That's cool. It's like a captain's unit. I don't know. Oh, there's a Nazgul, which there wouldn't be Nazgul, would there? I'm not sure. Because this battle took place 1697. So that's 97 years after the One Ring. Which I forgot to mention. Dang it. So we'll see how long the elves can hold here. They still have about 3 units of reinforcements. They've got archers who ran out of ammo. They have heavy infantry. These guys will hold for a long time. And then they have sword masters. So they have they don't have a lot of reserves, but they are very good. And they should buy another 10 minutes over here. Ooh, that is devastating. Wow. You know, when you don't care about your own men because you're an orc, you're going to get some deadly artillery hits. And there goes the archers. They have been called up into the front line. They're going in there to reinforce it, and they are trying to hold back these orcs as long as possible. Let's go to the other side, see how this is progressing. Is this cav? Hey, look, some cav made it. Yay. They're not all dead. Oh my goodness. Over here, we've got a leak. The orcs are breaking through this initial line. So, this is a problem. This is a problem. And really, the reason that it's so important for these elves to hold this flank of the city on both flanks is that, say the orcs break through here, they're going to be able to rush near the front line and get behind the troops that are holding the main gate here. And that would be disaster. Now, the elves, amazingly enough, are still fighting their hearts out and still holding this section of the city. In fact, they're even pushing up troops to try to, I guess, push back the orcs. Or maybe they're just trying to flank. Looks like they're just trying to flank the orcs' position. Look at these orcs. I'm sure they were inspired by the Hobbit movies here with this orc armor. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. I haven't seen the Hobbit movies in so long. They weren't bad. They just weren't amazing. Oh, what happened? Oh, that's a huge loss. That's a huge loss. Dang, and they're just walking over the burning corpse. Yeah, that's looking rough. More elven reinforcements are showing up. Look at what happened here. An orc unit must have snuck by or something, but he's got some sword masters sitting under the shade of these beautiful trees, and they're waiting for their turn to have to go and fight. Imagine being one of those soldiers. How dreadful would that be? There we go. The elves have been called in. They're like, screw this. We're going in. Just a little closer. They're like, oh, wait a second. Are you sure you want to do this? But he is getting closer to the other unit, so he can support it a little bit faster there. More artillery coming in. Let's go back over to the sides. Again, remember, if these sides fall, then the front falls as well. And it's getting messy over here. We've got trolls charging in. We have elves scattered, arrows flying overhead. I don't know how long the elves can hold here, but we'll see what they can do. I mean, every time I'm like, I don't know how long the elves can hold, it looks, they recover and they're doing well. Like, they've killed so many orcs. And then over here, same thing over here. They have recaptured their initial starting position. This was chaos. I mean, I thought for sure Mordor was going to break through here at any moment. In fact, it looks like he's falling back some troops, maybe keeping them fresh or just going to the final stand. It might be final stand time very soon. Balance of power still looking really rough. When we look at percentage killed, allies being the elves, 35% of the elves and 45% of the evil forces of Sauron have been killed. So the elves have a solid percentage lead, but they need more, obviously. And there we go. Yeah, he's fallen back these troops, and now he's moving them back up. I see he was trying to, I think he was trying to either one, get the arrows to fly away from the front line, or maybe completely escape the arrows. But it looks like that's not happening. This unit's gonna go back into the front line. They're definitely causing the orcs to waste their arrows. I mean, they're barely landing any hits on this unit. And there we go, they're going in. Oh, man. This is a cool shot right here. With the ballista opening fire. Ooh, friendly fire. I don't know what this... There you go. Face the enemy. This troll doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Oh, it's an officer troll. So that's some ferocious fighting right there. Let's go to this side. And, oh, the orcs have finally made progress. And the elves have fallen back. They're going to use this choke point here to keep them back. But the question is, can the orcs slip by and go towards the front line? Let's see, can they sneak this way? I don't think they can. I don't think there's a path, so I think they're gonna have to keep fighting down this road and then turn. So they still have quite a bit of fighting to try to get to this front line, but the thing is, how long is this front line gonna last anyways? This looks like they're gonna fall at any moment. This is looking really concerning. On the other side, it looks a little better. Not really. The orcs are just flanking around now. Ooh. Ooh. Not good. So we're about halfway through the battle, a little less, and it's looking rough for the elves. You know, considering that we're halfway through and they still are greatly behind in terms of balance of power. But you know the elves, their best defense is going to be up here. You know they've saved all of their best units. They've saved all of their artillery. They're using some of it, but they saved a good portion of it for this last stand. And it's only one gap right here. They can hold for so long. So we'll see how these elves play it out. But you got to give them props for how long. And keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Think about, these are just a couple, like, spearmen and some sword masters. Oh! But think about, like, they've held this position with just a handful of troops, relatively speaking. And they held for a long time. And what is running through here? Oh my god. Something is running through here, causing the orcs to fly up. It's like, it's the Blackguard of Barad-dûr, I think. But that's it. That's the that's all the elves could do. And that was a lot. But will it be enough? We now have a lot of arrows flying down here. Ooh, and this is not good. Look at the percentage difference is much closer now. Oh, this is such a cool shot right here. Look at this. They're up here opening fire. That's amazing. That is so cool. Oh, and then you got the archers over here. Heck yeah. That is sick. And I love the architecture. I love these maps. It looks really awesome. Fire! Alright, very cool, very cool. Alright, so now we got the archers on the ramp as well, opening fire. So you got a multiple angled, like, archer, you know, positioning. Multiple angled archer position. You get what I'm saying. But now the elves are falling back. They're getting everyone they can. They're like, fall back, fall back. We've lost the outer position. You can see that they've lost the main gate as well. We were, you know, the last time we looked over here, it was, you know, pretty much falling with ease. It was just too much for the elves to hold, and they're still trying to fall back. Look, they're desperately falling back as many elves as possible. Also, keep in mind, guys, they don't have a general. Both generals fell, which I'm kind of surprised that they both used their generals aggressively like that to try to, I mean, obviously they're trying to do as much damage as possible, but I mean, you got to look at a battle like this and think that, you know, the elves probably didn't even know what to expect from Sauron. I mean, again, I'm kind of talking out of my butt right now, but I can imagine that the elves just, they knew Sauron was a threat, but not to what extent, you know? So that's probably why the city fell. I don't know. That's just, at least that's what I'm thinking. A new threat. But yeah, this is, oh, this is an ocean just swarming right now. I mean, think of it as lava slowly oozing up to the high ground. Oh! Those orc jabbies gotta go. Now we got elvish archers who are out of ammo running in. What do we got for reserves here? Ballista, swordsmen, heavy cav, archers. So they've got more of what they've just had. It looks like they're re-angling the ballista to maybe get a better shot. I'm not really sure. They're moving up some spears as we speak. This looks really cool. Getting a little laggy. There's a lot of units in one area. And the orcs are going all in. And on top of all the infantry and the trolls, they've got a lot of archers in the back. They're trying to clean them up. Elves are just praying over here. They're probably thinking, will someone show up? Well, when will Gandalf show up? Where's Gandalf? Oh, here we go. Ballista, like, no, we're not done yet. Keep firing. Fire! You know, like, they're just going. I mean, it's a good day to be a ballista crew. They're going to get a lot of kills. Only thing, though, this is a problem. This is a pathway. Oh, I think... Okay, so I think this gate is glitching like the other gate. Look at these guys. These drakes. Just pouring in like they don't even care. Oh my god. They don't even care. So what I was saying is, I think this gate is glitched like the other one, where you can't use the main gate, or can you? No, you can't. Oh, there goes the general. All right, you got one of them. Go take him down with you. But it looks like they're gonna have to go this way and this way. So I was wrong. There isn't one choke point, and that's gonna. Oh, they gotta kill these drakes, man. But yeah, I was wrong. This is gonna be a much more difficult defense. A much more difficult defense. But there's still a good amount of elves left. They have killed a general, so morale could drop. But you know, when you're looking at all the reinforcements that are just swarming around this beautiful elven city, we got the disgusting orcs and their scum just swarming around this beautiful, well-built city. It looks like this is gonna be a desperate situation. I mean, we've seen it before, right? We've seen the elves put up a really good stand with a handful of troops. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Here comes the drakes again. Look at them. They just don't care. Oh my god. See, this is the ultimate frontline killer right here. These drakes, it doesn't matter if you have a solid... They're like tanks. Doesn't matter if you have a solid front line. They just run right through them. Oh, they're breaking. They're breaking. Oh my god. So now they're going to run through their own men. This is like Helm's Deep, bro. Here I'm running down the ramp. Look at that. Oh man. Oh my god. Look at them. They're knocking down trolls. They're getting the heck out of here. All right, I got to be careful looking over there. I don't want my game to crash again, especially considering we are very close to the end. And it would take forever to reload to the same spot that we're at. So instead of being one choke point, it's now become two very skinny choke points.
They're still doing their best. They're still trying to hold here. They got the cav in the back. Archer fire. Suppressing the infantry, trying to kill him from afar. It looks like the elves are reorganizing here. Or what's going on? They're falling back. I think they're gonna reset up their forces. Elves still holding strong over here as well. If anything, it looks like they're pushing them back. If they can just kill these orcs, keep pushing them back, they're golden. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the elves have reformed over on this side. You almost have like a flanking opportunity. Like if the orcs mindlessly charge into this front, this unit here of archers could flank around. Are these archers? Yeah, they're archers. Oh no, they're mixed. We've got the heavy infantry mixed in with the archers. If you flank the heavy infantry this way... Oh no, look who's coming back. Oh, the countercharge. They're like, we had enough of your crap. We've had enough of your crap. Oh my god. So I think the elves, I think it's safe to say they're completely out of ammo. And we have a huge force. Oh, they're putting up the defense. I think this is what they were defending. Oh my god. What was that? Oh no. That's a problem. Now the orcs just killed a bunch of their own troops, so that's good. But if they do land a solid hit with their artillery, this is going to be bad. This is a huge chunk of elves. A fairly easy target. Okay, I don't like looking at that. That's just me asking the game to crash. Look at this epic last stand. The epic last stand. This is so cool. Like, men, we will not fall today. We will rally. Look at more and more falling back. That's so awesome. Oh my god. Only half. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Half? At least one of the armies, half of their force remains. It's impressive because you would think it would be way less by now. Alright, so I think that's it for the elves. At least, like, in terms of this defense here, they've sent in everyone. They're going to keep these guys for the final stand to hold, which is going to be amazing to watch. Oh, no. Basically, the elves are kind of dying over here. And now we have artillery just trying to destroy the beautiful architecture of the elves. How dare they? Oh my god. Look at this. It's like, oh god. Okay, too much lag. It's like looking at a very weak, cracking dam that is about to burst. Like, that's what this looks like. It is about to crumble to the weight of all the water, and the water is just going to come pouring in when it does. And I think the orcs, yep, they're slipping through here. So I think the elves have fallen here on this side. Again, I'm a little afraid to zoom in because it's going to get laggy. And looking at the Orc army, they still have a ton of reserves. I think the lore and the history of this battle is going to stay true. Oh, look at this. Look at this view. That's sick. Oh, here comes the drummer trolls. Now, if you're the Orcs, you definitely want to flank around and kill these guys over here. It would have been cool if they had like one dwarven unit to represent Durin the Third. Black Uruks of the mountains. There they go. They're pouring in. Look at these statues. Generation of elves look down on them. Actually, I mean, they're immortal, so it doesn't really look like that. It's not like that. But there you have it. The epic last stand is underway. We'll see how long they can hold. They're still holding over here. I'm surprised the Orcs aren't sending anyone over to flank around to break this defense down. Oh, God. Hold. All these dumber trolls. They are dumb. The drummer trolls. I love how they just like get right in the middle of the enemy line and just starts drumming. Like, yo, I'm gonna play my beats right in front of you. I don't even care. Hold the line. Oh, God. There we go. The Orcs have broken through on this side as well. Look at the Elven cav coming out of nowhere. Oh, and the artillery gets them. How? They charge in to try to slow down the stream of Orcs. The epic last stand is still going. How long? How long can they hold? I'm guessing like 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. Realistically. Oh my God, look at all the Orcs running through. I know I'm not saying much here, but there's really not much to say. Just kind of soaking it all in. Watching these elves hold. I mean, in terms of strategy and tactics, there's none. It's just one force holding and one force attacking. General running up. Look at he's thirsty for blood. This elf is like, no! They're fighting right next to a dead drummer troll, which he's trying to run through. Yes, defeat seems almost certain. 92% of the elves have died. Oh my god. And there you have it, guys. That is the last stand of the elves. They've got a couple more elves still fighting it out, but I think it's quite clear that this one is over. It was a battle of many different locations. A brave and great stand. I mixed the two words, grave. A great and brave stand here by the elves. They did a lot of damage here. I mean, really all the major points where they held, they did a lot of damage, but it just wasn't enough. There was too many orcs, and they have sacked the city. They're going to destroy it, and it's going to be a sad day for the elves of Eregion. The elves of Eregion. So what I'm going to do, guys, is just get us to the end screen, because you're just kind of watching a handful of elves here fight it out. Not the most exciting thing, but that last stand was pretty cool to watch. So yeah, it was a great fight. Let's go see how this battle unfolded. All right, now unfortunately, I don't know who's who, but the elves both did really great. Look at the kills. There were so many orcs, and then since there were so many orcs, their kill D is kill death, not very good, but it doesn't matter. They won the day. The lore repeats itself today. Eregion has fallen. Kelebrimbor has been captured. Durin has the doors of Durin have been shut, and Elrond has tried to save as many people and has fallen back to Lindon. Or to the Lindon Elves. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll go ahead and show you the kills here. You can kind of pause it and see if any of these units got an insane amount of kills. 763 spearmen. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. Look out for the second part. It'll probably be a couple days. Since I still don't have internet, I can only record X amount of videos at a time. So it'll be about 4 days or so. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.